World Championship. Sorry to our listener, Dan, that emailed John that segment's over, so now I can call it a World Championship again. But we just got done celebrating the Eagles Super Bowl, the parade, and everything, and now we're already turning towards combine time. Like, it really does, and John and I were talking off air before the show, it shrinks the offseason so
That's why
much.
we're so selfish. Like, it's great for us.
If it was up to me, I'd have the Eagles win the Super Bowl every year.
It's awesome.
Makes things a lot easier.
Look, because we all go into I think there's a little post-football depression for a lot of people, but when you win the Super Bowl, I don't think there's a post-football depression.
No.
Like last year after that Tampa Bay game, it got dark.
Yeah.
People were angry. People were upset. I think that when you win the Super Bowl, there's just so much joy. Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's absolutely
awesome.
a great place to be. By the way, I'm sitting in for Andrew Salciunas today. He has got the day off to watch his son Cooper. He'll be back on Monday.
And
just normal day off.
We do have one of our emailers, Chris, who emails a lot, sends me an email and he goes, by the way, he goes, today as he's watching, he's watching on YouTube. Watching on YouTube from Northport, Florida.
Oh,
where
nice.
where he's on a little bit of beginning a spring break.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So he's beginning like a little early spring break for himself. He says that Connor's enthusiasm is like a golden retriever. He always brings it. He's glad to finally see what Gunner looks like.
Now, do me a favor. Take that hat off again.
He sees what Gunner looks like.
Can't see it.
Yeah, you just took it off.
It's weird that you just said that with the thing. You just take it off because he says, and John, your haircuts are always on point.
That's very nice. He's
Michael-
buttering us up.
So I cut
Michael
my hair
Coletti.
and I had a mess up. So I had to cut it all
you
off.
just buzzed everything.
Where did you cut your own hair?
You went Baldiani on us.
I always cut it off. I always cut my own, but I had a mishap.
Batman.
Had a mishap with the I put the wrong length on.
Oh no!
So you know
on
what this
top.
means, right? I got to do the math. When did Sirianni buzz his?
Yeah,
Because-
it was before the Cleveland game.
So we've got, like 3 months then? In
I'll
3
bet.
months, Kincade and Salciunas is going to win a Marconi.
Dude.
Because we've got the guy running the things from behind the scenes back there just buzzed his head.
Dude, Michael Coletti from Sal's Barbershop, one of our great sponsors. He gives me that. He gets me that compliment. Haircut's always on point.
Listen, I buzzed my head. Now we just need a caller to call up so I can scold him after the show, and then we're gonna win that Marconi.
Absolutely. Just go out into the parking lot and yell at anyone who drives by and just tell them you're a good football coach. And then next thing you know, Super Bowl champion.
I think Haley should shave her head in unison,
I don't
just to be like with her brothers. Buzz her head.
I think we're going to leave Haley's hair on. That's all good.
Yeah,
Brennan, it looks good, kid.
No, it doesn't.
So we're going to talk about the Combine in a second, but one thing I want to wrap up with that conversation we were having, we were talking about the Four Nations face-off, which you could not have missed it last night. Not only was it an amazing hockey game, there was a lot of commentary all over social media. There was a lot of buzz leading up to it. The only reason Team USA lost is because they didn't boo the anthem enough in Boston. We'll work on that for the next one.
I thought it was you heard a group of people booing at the beginning, and then they're reading the room and going
Died down,
no.
and then the
I love
USA
it.
chants as soon as "Oh Canada" ended
That was awesome.
great.
They did
I
that
have no
was
issue
so
with that.
classy, absolutely classy.
Yeah.
The way that Boston handled it.
And I would have booed it, but I would have booed it because of sports, and I just that's maybe that's the Philly in me, but I don't have any oh, you have to boo Canada, we hate them, they're evil. I think it was handled well by everybody.
It was except the Canadian anthem singer.
Yeah.
That was the worst rendition of a beautiful anthem that I've ever heard.
I'll tell
That was
you,
a terrible one, and I did laugh. It's not political. The one meme that I laughed at the most was where they had a picture of her and it said MAGA, make anthems great again. And I laughed. I fell off the couch laughing.
I think
because that was a terrible rendition.
Yeah, the Eagles saxophone guy should be doing every anthem of every country.
See, now I want
Do they do national anthems at the Combine before each and every underwear? It's the Underwear Olympics.
Here's what I'd say to you, though, Connor, on that. No, why I disagree with you is the national anthem is not a performance piece.
Yeah.
It is meant to be sung. It's a performance piece. It's not something you go to a show to hear somebody do. You're supposed to sing your national anthem. Sing along with it. You're not supposed to be sitting there watching somebody sing.
Listen, I'm available to sing for any events if you want a good anthem singer. But
see that? Yeah.
Let's not get caught up on that too much, even though it was a big part of the lead up to the game.
It was.
So here's why I think it's not fair to look at what happened with the Four Nations face-off and be like, why don't other leagues do this? Because it's... One, you got a perfect storm that I don't think even the NHL predicted. No one thought the Four Nations face-off 3 weeks ago was going to be this amazing, crazy hockey event that the whole world was taken by. And part of that is the stuff that's going on between the United States and Canada outside of hockey. Part of that is the rivalry between these two countries on the ice. Part of that is the way that the games were played leading up to it, that it was USA-Canada in the finals. Like, hockey they hit the absolute lottery, but they also put themselves in great position to by creating this. The tough thing is, I don't know how, like, football would be able to do it. They can't do an in-season tournament. The sport's too physical.
Football you can't.
Basketball, I would love to see them do something more like this. I don't know what the structure would be because the game is so international.
How about International All-Star Weekend?
And they kind of tried that this year with the way they made the All-Star teams.
Well, stop having fans picking teams.
Right.
And let it be international stars for each. Or even if you want to, let whoever's selected as the GM of that country.
Yeah, but the tough thing with that, right, is...
Or that continent or whatever.
The NBA, it's not quite the same because if you did that structure, the NBA would beat the break... Like, the American team would beat the brakes off of everybody if they tried, and you would still need the buy-in from the players, which you haven't gotten, which is the main issue with the NBA. And baseball, with the World Baseball Classic, I think that's a cool event, but you're not going to do it in season, like in the middle of the season, because it takes too long.
How about if you wanted to have four... If you wanted to have an All-Star weekend? I thought about this weekend. Because it was so terrible. The NBA was terrible. And I talked to one of the coaches from this weekend. And they were even like shaking their head at it. I would go, how about 4 regions of the country? The NBA splits its talent into 4 regions.
I don't hate that.
And you have the East, the West, the North, and the South.
The 4 regions face off.
And the 4 regions of the NBA face off. And you create all-star teams based on the region.
I don't mind that at all.
That would be fun. I think that's just a way to make it more creative.
Yeah, now I think the NHL is going to be chasing this high of what they got from the 4 Nations face-off for a while. Like, I don't think just like the next time they do this, it will be the same type of...
And it's not...
They got the perfect storm this time.
Exactly.
But it's not even... Yeah, it was.
But a lot of other leagues can get closer to that than they try to, and that's where a lot of people should be
I tweeted to Justin Trudeau this morning.
Yeah?
Yeah,
he got to answer you back?
He put out, you can't steal our game, you can't steal our country. And I said... Fact check, been stealing it since 1993 because that cup has never gone north.
Time. We still got the Stanley Cup,
and it almost Gunner would have made millions last year.
I don't know if Philadelphia could take credit for that recently.
Well, hey,
we'd like to get another one back.
Exactly. Thank you so much for checking out our content on the 97.5 The Fanatic YouTube channel. Hope you enjoyed the video, and remember, you can always be checking the playlist. There may be something you missed from one of our shows during the day that you want to go back and check out. So every time you like a video, like it, subscribe to the channel, and you'll have that great content coming to you every single day. You're greatly appreciated.